Hi, everybody. I don't know how many times I've tried to record this. We're going to give it another shot. So, I know my hair looks kind of crazy, wild woman thing going on, but I assure you, it's been a long day. I had to leave out the door at 8 o'clock this morning to head to Rochester for my labs and for my clinic appointment today. So, we're going to talk about it. Last week I was dealing with dealing with some leakage, and I was using wound pads and covering it with tape around to um, keep it clean and to basically get any fluids off of there. It didn't look like blood; it just looked more like fluid that just needed to come out. So I did mention it to my nurse practitioner today, and she said it sounds like it was an inflamed seroma. And usually that does happen when you get an incision, especially in the abdominal area. So that is something that is common. So, I mean, it was not really an alarming thing, but she did take a look at my incision. She says everything looks really, really good. A lot of some of the incision parts have already scabbed over. So that's really good. And it's looking really neat. And it's like my hips, especially on the right side, they're starting to kind of like come in a little bit more. So it's kind of looking like I'm getting like a little bit of a tummy tuck, but I'm not, because I had that transplant. So it's really amazing how my body is actually like changing since the transplant. Um, and my belly is not even hanging down anymore, which is even better. So I'm thankful for that. And also, next week, I get the state, or yes, next week. It's going to be a longer appointment. I get my staples out, and if everything looks really good, I get to start driving again after 4 weeks. 4 weeks of waiting, like after surgery, because I thought I would have to wait like 6 weeks. But she says usually they do it, have people drive again after 4 weeks, and that my labs will actually be reduced down to once a week instead of twice a week. So good news all around. I'm very happy about that. So we'll see how that goes. Now my blood pressure has been a little high, higher than what I like for it to be. So she did okay for me to talk with my primary care physician about medication. Even if it has to be a different medication than what I was on before. Um, I was on cardavolol before, and it was a very low dose, but it seemed to work really good. But now it's not working. So we she she's like, well, why don't you talk to him? I'm sure whatever he will pick will be okay. He did pick one for me that seems to be promising. That seems to kind of work with what I'm going through right now. Um, the thing is, with blood pressure medications, you got to really be careful, especially with the medications that you're currently taking, because it could counteract with each other, and it could counteract with your blood levels and values and stuff. So, and not only that, it can also affect my kidneys as well too. So, but I mean, I do drink a lot of water. I know it doesn't look like it, but I do drink a lot of it, and I've been peeing a lot. So, um, anywho, that is what is on the docket for next week. Um, the 30th, I have an appointment with my nurse practitioner, the surgeon who did my transplant surgery. I have a trip to Batavia. It's same facility. They just have a facility in Batavia as well, which is about an hour from my house versus hour and a half. So that's not bad. And I do some imaging there. It's the ultrasound just to take a look at my liver again, see how she's doing. Um, I do have a name for my liver. Um, this was something that I had thought about for years, and I'm not going to reveal her name just yet. Yes, I call her a she because she is inside of me. And whether the donor was male or female is irrelevant. It's inside of me, and yeah, I say she's a she. She's a fighter. She's working really hard in there right now. This name is like very near and dear to me, so um, giving my new liver this name is a kind of a tribute to somebody that I lost a long time ago. So yeah. Some of you can probably guess what that name is, but I will reveal that at a later video when it's a little bit longer, but this is kind of like a short one for today. So, waiting on medication approval from Rochester to see if it's okay if I could take that new medicine that my family doctor is prescribing, make sure it's not going to really mess things up, and then go from there. And then I've got, nurses coming out on Tuesday and Thursday. This might be their last week coming out, so it's going to be good. It's going to be a hot one tomorrow, so my ass is staying inside. And Brittany and I both agreed that we're probably going to be hanging out all day long. Probably going to be watching some movies. You never know. I did cook myself lunch for the first time using a skillet. I did pretty good. Got full very quick. So I made chicken tacos, mild, of course. And I have to wash it with the sodium and stuff. But I made two. I only ate one. One was more than enough for me. And I know eventually I will get back up to two again, I'm sure. But one was enough, and I'm satisfied. It tasted really good. I was like, oh my God, that was so good. Oh man. Oh. All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. You have a wonderful rest of the week. And as soon as I have more info on things, I might do shorter videos, but definitely, probably in August, I'll be releasing another video. It'll be a little bit longer than this. All right.